Hi everyone, my name is Hot and Thresh. Today we're going to go through an M10 Tempest and making this video because people asked me to show my Spear, Rapier, light build tanking style. So these are my Spear abilities, these are my Rapier abilities, these are my attributes. I'm already all buffed up. I do run this with strong corrupted ward potions, just in case button. It's nature mutation here, so I'm running full ambers, and I've got full ward gear. Just gonna hover over everything. Feel free to pause the video if you're looking at something specific. Okay. So the first thing I do here is I run past these two mobs, and there's a reset point on the left side of the stairs here that you can jump into. While we wait for everything to reset, just making sure people don't die. Once that sword resets, we'll come out and we'll kill these three mobs. Gonna taunt them, and then I'm gonna I've got Sacred Wood Saber for refreshing move plus refreshing, so that lets me get my cooldowns back quick enough for the next pull. Are these guys okay? Alright, there's a chest on the left here, but I'm gonna run through, pop regen plus ward, bring everything back and taunt it. Then DPS should grab well here. There it is. That gives me a plus 10 fortify. The healer is also running Orb of Protection plus fortifying Sacred Ground. Those two things give me plus 20% fortify. And so on any given pull, Gravwell plus fortifying Sacred Ground plus Orb of Protection give me a total of 30% fortify. And then I'm running fortifying Perforate on my spear as well, which gives me significant fortification. So that's how you're surviving most of these pulls here. You're going to pull just the boss here, bring him around to the stairs. But your standard pull with multiple mobs at any time is going to be riposte with your rapier. After riposte ends, you're going to dodge backwards and sweep. After sweep, you're going to perforate and then skewer. Here I'm not going to use taunt because I need it for the other mobs that are coming here. And you may notice I'm not even running a taunt on my spear. I'm keeping aggro just by DPSing with the gem in there. This next part, we're going to have DPS stand in that crevice there. That's actually a reset location. Mobs won't hit them in there. They may get hit a few times, but the mobs will reset. Meanwhile, I'm running around and picking up all the other mobs, pulling their aggro. And now that the orb is finished, I'm taunting, and I'm running. As basically a DPS, you are not able to just tank things. You're playing a kiting game instead here. And while you're cutting around, DPS handles the pylon. This next part we skip here. Obviously you want to communicate everything to teammates. I've already run a few runs with these guys, so they already know what we're doing here, but we're gonna run around and reset on a boulder over here. Pop a regen as you go through. As a tank, pop your ward potion as well. I'm gonna taunt these mobs so that they can get through. The important part is getting to that respawn gem. Once you're at the respawn gem, the rest doesn't really matter. It's okay to die here, it's okay to just yeet yourself over the edge, anything. Mobs will reset without finishing them. There's still an archer. Expecting this dog to pull. So there is another skip farther down in that direction where we came from, but this one's more reliable because it doesn't matter if you die. You just get the respawn gem and you're good to go. Next, you have the option to do this tendril with the waves or without them. We've been doing it without the waves, so I'm not in comms with them anymore, so I'm just gonna do it normally. Now we're gonna spawn waves, wait us beat, and then taunt. Immediately dodge backwards. Waiting for a Gravwell, there it is. That's plus 10 fortify. 10% fortify. Auto attacking with Rapier to get my taunt back. Go into the center again and taunt. There is, you may see a shadow where I'm standing. There's a few different shadows on the ground. Once some mobs clear out, I'll show you guys. Okay, so if you look at the ground here, there's a shadow here and a shadow here. You want to stand on this shadow. That'll let you taunt everything that spawns around here and the stuff spawning behind you as well. And just a reminder, you always want to dodge backwards immediately after your riposte, because anything that you miss with the riposte, especially those crawlers that jump at you, those are going to kill you if you don't dodge. So you just need to make sure you have enough iframes going. Iframes mean invulnerability frames, so every dodge is an iframe, riposte is an iframe. Alright, this next part, we're just going to pull the 2 abominations over. Gonna go ahead and use my taunt here. We'll take enough time to kill them that I'll have my taunt back before we start doing Spriggan. Or close enough to being back. Now I'm gonna walk in here. Important thing is making sure I have Spriggan aggro, but I don't. Gonna fix this. Okay, now I have Spriggan. So this is, before I even started Spear Rapier tanking the entire dungeon, I used to at least swap to Rapier for Spriggan because of this attack. This 3-part attack he does. You can dodge once, then evade the second part, and then riposte the third part, or any combination of that. And that can help you a lot if you're trying to avoid taking damage. In case you're ever like really bored, maybe like, I don't know, for any reason, if you really want to see what you can do and you're wanting to like solo Tempest or something, a Spear Rapier for this fight is absolutely fantastic. There's not a better option, in my opinion. Of course, you could do Lifestab Void Gauntlet, but honestly, Lifestab Void Gauntlet, in my opinion, is like so easy. You just ignore mechanics and heal through everything, and it just feels like cheating to me. So when I solo it, I try not to use any kind of healing weapon like that. Anyone who's not aware of chest spawn locations, I suppose I can go through those. For the second chest, it can spawn over here. If you're watching my crosshairs, or over here. And then there's two other spots it can spawn at. We'll get to those in a sec. There's a third spot. It can spawn over there. For this pull here, while I am Spear Rapier tanking, there's a way to group this even if you don't have a gravity well with you. And I'll show you where to stand and everything. Okay, we're going to start with regen, ward, stand between these two, taunt with the rapier, and there, they are grouped up. Again, anytime you begin a pull, it is riposte, dodge, sweep, fortifying perforate, and skewer. Gonna see if I can pick up that other one. There we go. Gonna dodge this. Oh, they interrupted it. Nice. Then on our left here is going to be the fourth location for the second chest. It can spawn right here. This boss is pretty standard, just dodge anytime he raises his hands. The third chest, we're at the point where we're looking for the third chest now. So there's one spawn location over to the left, so I always look for it. It's not there, so we're skipping these. Then the second spot it can be is back here. There it is. Next, just watching the map, waiting for them to get here. I aggroed the dog, so I'm going to start the pull. Popping a regen potion. I'll pop a ward potion just because they're a little bit behind. Bringing things together and taunting. Not sure if I have the dog or not. I do. He'll come back. this next part. I'm gonna fletch through them. Bring everything together, pop a regen, taunt, backward dodge, sweep, perforate, enfeebling skewer. Then there's two other places the third chest can spawn. It can spawn down there or in the rocks up here. But since we already got the third chest, we can just skip past everything. Make sure everyone's with us. Mobs don't come past the door. Make sure everyone's beyond this line before you start the boss, but if everyone's past there, you can start. I always start this with a riposte. Let her get settled. Dodge. Try not to get greedy with auto attacks. Anytime she does abilities, dodge into her, or dodge backwards if you're already close, and then do one ability, and then maybe one or two auto attacks, and then get ready to dodge again. If you get greedy there, you'll end up getting killed. So for this part here, since we're a light tank with 150 con and no shield, we need to burst the priest. Sending 1 or 2 DPS to handle the archers on the sides is not an option. So we're going to wait for the mutation. We're still okay. Okay. This is kind of botched. Usually we wait for the mutation to pop off. We're okay. No healer. Taunt things. Give it a regen. Pop the ward. Potion. Come in, taunt again. Gonna pick up the archers. Weary's about to pop. Potion again. That's okay. As long as we don't full wipe here, then it's okay. This is probably the worst spot on the dungeon to full wipe on, because you need the animation, the spawn animation for the mobs when you're doing this pull. It gives you time to get into position, it gives you time to group the mobs properly. If you wipe on it and then come back in a second time, all the mobs are already spawned. So you get kind of screwed. Just gonna check. I think that's, yeah, first death. Not bad. With his kind of strategy, since we're going through it so fast, we can get up to like 14 or 15 deaths without becoming silver. We'll still be gold. That is, what is that, 4th chest? Not sure. That feels early to be a 4th chest. So this just going to start off with taunt again. dodge into an ability, one ability, and then back off. She's doing an ability, dodge. I'm spinning her a lot. One ability, dodge, out. So waiting for her ability. Now I dodge, my ability, back off. Same thing, just keep doing that. Let her do one ability, and then you do one ability. Watching to make sure everyone's with us. You don't want to walk too far forward because you'll cause the skull to spawn, even if you don't drop down. So just waiting for... That's our healer back there. Yeah, so they're going to cause the skull to spawn, but just gotta wait for our healer. Maybe it's been patched. I don't see the skull spawning. Alright, gonna go ahead now. Yeah, this skull's just invisible, that's why. Nice bug. Maybe this skull's not invisible and I'm just blind. I don't know. Okay, as soon as I'm up, I am taunting. Fortifying Perforate. Sweep. Just gonna wait for him to stagger the skull. Once it's staggered, you can keep on walking. He can kill it during the stagger. If you're ever soloing Tempest, this part of it, you need to get both of the beams on yourself at the same time, and just sit behind the turret while you wait for them to finish. And just before they finish, you need to get into the turret and start shooting them. Just let yourself take like 1 or 2 ticks of the laser and start shooting. Again, waiting for the stagger, then I walk. That way, that'll let you take a few ticks of damage, but you'll still be able to stagger the skulls. And then you'll finish them off during their stagger before you take laser damage again. Just checking where they are. Someone else might have it. I don't know. Okay, gonna ahead and get started. I taunt. Normally, you don't want to taunt in here, but I taunt on the first one since it's just one extra mob that would pull if I hit him with the taunt. For this boss, you're dodging anytime the arms are raised. Then we skip these mages. Then if you're trying to solo it, I actually had some issues here because this is like the only DPS check in the dungeon. But if you bring a bow and poison the far mages while you melee the ones that are close by, you can kind of maximize your DPS doing that. I guess they are going back for the... Okay, that works if he wants to do that. Or not? Okay. I think we just start. Yeah, the mages will pull into this room, but it'll be okay. Here, the quickest way to do it is actually splitting up and just have the healer kind of playing in the middle, healing both sides. But it doesn't really matter. If you're good enough to be doing M10s, there's next to no chance you're gonna have an issue with this part. Just kind of watching for the mobs to come up onto the mage before I use sweep. That way I can CC the mobs that are hitting us. 4 minutes on food. Guess I'll eat it. Nothing special about this mob, really. Alright, for Neishatun, pretty much a straightforward fight. Stay on Spear Rapier for it. Don't need anything too fancy. Anytime he does his auto attacks or like any ability, you can dodge it. You can solo this with a Spear Rapier. Don't really need heals, you just need to press shift at the right time. For anyone who's not aware, you're able to riposte the fire circles. You can also do that for the orbs that spawn as well. This group has some good DPS, so the orbs are not going to be an issue. But in case you're in a group of randoms and everyone's dead except you, if you have a rapier, you're able to solo this. There are some caveats to that. The main one being that if you take damage at the same time as the fire circle popping, or you take damage at the same time as the orb explodes, you won't be able to repost the burn stack. Okay, so when the orb spawns, I take boss away from them so that the boss doesn't like wipe them or something. Just keeping an eye on the boss, and literally any time the boss does anything that looks like an ability, you need to dodge. In case you're not aware, for this part, the safe spot is indicated by where the mobs spawn. So there may or may not be additional safe spots, but the guaranteed one is wherever the mob spawns. So we just had a mob spawn down there. That's going to be a safe spot in the next round. See, there's other safe spots in addition to it, but that's the only guaranteed one. I'm just going to repost this because I'm lazy. Pull boss away. Anytime the boss is like a far distance from you and charges at you to slam with his tail, I would recommend dodging backwards and to the right. That's because sometimes the boss doesn't do an overhead tail slam. Sometimes it's like a sweep with the tail instead, and that sweep goes from the boss's, so like I'm looking where the boss is looking, from the left to the right. That's the direction of his sweep. So by dodging backwards and to the right, you can avoid the first part of the sweep, and then his tail will curl around and do a second hit if you're not careful. You can dodge that as well if you dodge backwards and to the right. Oh, nice auto-targeting. Gonna pick up those mobs. Since I'm on Wood Saber, I'm gonna start auto-attacking. Just make sure I have riposte available for when the orb is up. Oh, I haven't shown you guys. There's a visual indicator that shows when the orb is gonna explode. If you take a look at the orb, there's a white circle on the outside that's slowly approaching an inner circle. When the two circles meet, it's gonna explode. So if you're watching the video, might want to rewind and just make sure that you can see those indicators when I'm looking at the orb. That way you know what indicators I'm talking about, and you'll be prepared for when you're doing it. Here, this is a long spawn animation, so I'm gonna wait just a little bit until after the fourth one comes through. Still waiting for the fourth person. Oh, he's way back here. Alright, just gonna wait until I see him move, and then I'll start the animation. Anytime she does that two-part attack she just did, dodge backwards and swap to Rapier during your dodge, and use your actual dodge for the first one. Use Rapier iframes, either riposte or evade, for the second one. That way you don't blow all your stamina. You saw she just did it 3 times in a row. So if I were using my stamina and not Rapier, I would have been out of stamina after the second one, and I would have been dead on the fourth one. So it's important that you weave those Rapier iframes in there. When she's flying, I swap to Rapier, and dodge 1, evade 2, dodge 3. Again, just being mindful of your stamina. When she does this, I dodge backwards and to the side, dodge through, and then skewer. Since the DPS is down, I'm going to pull her away so that he can be safely revived. Dodge, evade. Dodge. I would riposte here. Don't have it. I'm going to pull her back to where we want her. And just like other bosses, when you're tanking this way, you dodge literally every time they do anything. I've still got aggro. You can tell I have aggro because of the, if you see the cursor, those red marks on the edges. Backwards and to the side. Dodge through. Skewer. Swap to Rapier. Evade 2. Dodge 3. And riposte 4. Now, if you're min-maxing your DPS, the best time to clear pylons is while she's spawning a new one. This way you don't need to worry about abilities from the boss that you're going to need to dodge. Alright guys, so that's how you tank a Tempest as a Spear Rapier 150 con light build tank. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you're on Yggdrasil, feel free to hit me up for Tempest runs. I'll run normals as well, because honestly, normal Tempest gives you more shards than low level mutations, because when you get that Gypsum Orb, it's going to equate to 400 shards. So I run these all day. If you're on Yggdrasil, feel free to invite me or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a game you all paid for, so play it how you want. I hope this opens your mind to some possibilities for unorthodox tanking options. So yeah, have fun out there guys, and thanks for watching.